Alright, welcome back everyone to A Programmer Plays Master Key. Continuing on with our series of Nonogram playthroughs, and today we're going to start with Nonogram 79 and see how far we can get an hour. So, without further ado, this is Nonogram 79. We are 10 pixels wide and 15 pixels tall, which I'm sure that we can narrow some of this out. So, for example, 3 plus 1, 4 plus 1, 5 plus 1, 6 plus 2, 8. There's 2 pixels of wiggle room here. You know that this pixel has to be filled in horizontally. Similar story over here, we know that this pixel has to be filled in. Let's the same story here. 1 space, 1 space, 1, 2, 3 space, 1, or 1 space, 1, 2, 3, 1 space. So 1 pixel wiggle room there, so we can fill in 2 pixels for the 3 here. With the 2, 2, 3, can actually make a little bit more, though that was wrong. There's still a pixel wiggle room, so you can only say this pixel is definitely in there, maybe this, or maybe it's filled in. Space, this pixel definitely filled in. That gives us something. This one is 6 pixels wide, which means 4 pixels of wiggle room, so it could be 1 space, 1, 2, 4, or 1, 2, 3, 4 space. There, so there's no overlap. The 4 pixels completely eliminates our. So, that's our horizontal certainty. 3, 3, 1, 2, 1. I'm not actually sure. Alright, so this is one possible filling of the 3, 3, 1, 2, 1, which means that there's 1 pixel of wiggle room here, so we can confidently say that this is filled in, these 2 are filled in, and these 2 are filled in, but we just don't know about the rest of these, but that does help us a fair bit. This row is a 3, 1, 2, so we know that it can't be there. Fair bit, because now 1, 2 space, 1 space, 2, or 1, 2 space. Yeah. Only 1 pixel of ambiguity there. But also lets us figure out some more stuff. We've got a vertical 5, 2 here. The 5 couldn't reach up to here. Now, looking at our horizontal 2, 2, we know that we couldn't fit a 2 here. That's, some ring thinning. What else does this help us? Okay, here's something. Because we filled in this pixel, we know that we couldn't fit a 3 and then this be the 1. This has to be part of the 3, which means that the 3 can't reach to here. From that, we can now say, alright, vertically, couldn't fit the vertical 3 that spot. So again, a little bit of narrowing, but this little bit of narrowing is going to probably go pretty far. 8, 11, 4 pixels of wiggle room. Let's see what we can keep figuring out. There. All right. Am I missing any? Ah, yeah, I'm missing a gimme here. So with this filled in, we know that the 5 couldn't reach over to here. And we can go ahead and say, because of the 5, we know that it's over here, we can actually go a step further and say, alright, we know that the 5 has to reach to it here because our leftmost arrangements require that. From there, we can look at our vertical and say, alright, we couldn't fit 2 1s under here, so we have to have, this has to be one of our 1s. That, unfortunately, does not help us horizontally very much. We could fit a 3 on either side of this, and we can fit the 1s on either side of this. So, it doesn't super help us. What else can we say? Alright, so this column, we've got a 1, 4, 2, 3. So 1 plus 4 is 5, plus 2 is 7, plus 3, 10. 3 spaces in between there is 13. This is 15 tall, so there's only 2 pixels of wiggle room. So we know that 1 pixel of the 3 is here. So if it was like this, 1, 2, 3, space, 1, 2, space, 1, 2, 3, 4, space, 1, and then that's the 2 pixels of wiggle room there. Or 1, space, 1, 2, 4. So we actually know that this pixel is filled in. The rest of the don't know. But hey, that gives us something. That gives us our horizontal 2 here. So bam, that's completed. And with that in place, there's actually only one solution now for the rest of the row, like that. We also can look down here and say, hey, this row's nothing but 1, so this has to be like this. 2, 3, space. Alright, so we know that this is part of the 2. Fortunately, that doesn't let us rule anything out here. Almost, but not quite. What else can we... Here. A lot of empty there. So either way. Okay, we can start making some decisions here. So the 1 would have to go somewhere down here probably in order to have the 3, and then 2 and 3 in order to have the 1. So we don't know the 1, but the rest of that could only fit in one way there. In this row, we can confidently say, all right, we can't fit 2 1s to the right of here, so this has to be a 1. So we can go ahead and X that in. That narrows down where the 2s could possibly be to that space. That gives us an upper bound for our vertical 3 here, which gives us a completion for our 2 here. We also, looking at this row, know, alright, well that's the 3 completed. We can complete the 2 as well. That lets us complete this 3 and this 3. Nice. Which lets us know, hey, the horizontal 2 couldn't reach to here. We've got a vertical 2 and a vertical 3. This pixel is filled in, then then those would be a 4, so that can't be filled in. This has to be filled in. Go ahead and finish extrapolating that. This has to be our 3 there. Which means that our vertical 3, we couldn't fit it up here, has to be here. Tells us where our 2 is. Great. We have to fit a 3 between these 4 pixels, so that means that at very least 2 pixels here are filled in. Row is nothing but 1, so we can go ahead and X that out. This row starts with a 1, so we know that that's going to be there, and that's going to have to be like that. This row calls for a 4, so this pixel is going to have to be filled in for the rightmost arrangement of the 4. The 4 could alternatively be left arranged to here, maybe, we just don't know yet, but either way, this pixel is filled in. That gives us in our vertical our 4 completed. Wonderful. Which leaves us with only... leaves us with only 1 pixel of wiggle room on the... no, it doesn't even do that. No pixels of wiggle room on the 2 and the 3. That's the 2 and the 3 in there. We've got a 4 on this row, so rightmost arrangement's going to have this pixel filled in. Leftmost arrangement comes to here, which means the rest of all of this has nothing in it. Looking here, we've got 2 pixels filled in, which means that that's definitely one of the 2s. And we can look at the right side and say, oh, well, didn't fit a 2 here. With only 5 pixels, that gives 1 space 1, 2. This pixel has to be filled in. Looking at this one, the column 3, 3, 1, 2, 1. We've got a 3, a 3. That means that this has to be a 1, which means this has to be a 2, which means this pixel has to be filled in for the 1. That then lets us look at it. We know that this is part of the 2 and this is part of the 3. So if this is part of the 2, then these pixels can't be filled in. We just couldn't read. Looking at this row, we've got a 5. We know that that pixel is going to have to be part of that 5. And we've got a right edge for it, so we can go ahead and complete it. And also say there can't be anything here because this is just a 3. There can't be anything here. We also could have known that there couldn't be anything there by looking at the column and saying couldn't fit a 2 there. Can't fit a 2 this spot either, and that's one of the things that we need for this. So bam. Means that we actually know where the 2 is in this column. This vertical 2 has to go here, couldn't fit here, underneath these 3 pixels of the 5. Let's see. This row we've got a 1, 1, 3, 1, so this has to be one of those ones. Looking at this column, we've got only 1s remaining, so we're gonna have to X that out. This row only has 4, so we can go ahead and X this out. What else? This column, we need a 2 at the top, so that's gonna have to go there, which completes our 2 there. This row, we need to complete the 3, so that goes there. That means that we've got a 2 here that we can close off. The remaining 1 has to go here. That completes our 4 here, which then lets us know, alright, we can't have a pixel here, can't have a pixel here, because of the columns. 5 has to go there. Go ahead and close this off and this off, because that's our 1. Means we can't have a 2 here, the 2 has to come down into here. We also could have known that, how the row is filling out. Need a pixel here, so that completes that. This column, we need need to close off this pixel, which gives us a left edge for our 3 here, which gives us our 2 completed. Need a pixel in here somewhere. This column, we need to close off this 3. We need 1 more, so that's that. Good. That means we still need a 1 in here somewhere. So looking at this row, we can go ahead and complete the 2, and we still need another 1. That closes that row off. We have to close this off because this column only has 1s remaining. This column only has 1s and is done, so that's that. 2 pixels that we need here. Nothing but that, and so the last pixel goes here. Dog face? Horse skeleton? Oh, but hey, there we go. Nonogram 79. That one took us a while, 16 minutes. Oof. On to Nonogram 80. Nonogram 80 is a whopping 15 pixels wide and 15 pixels tall, but this one starts off a lot easier with some gimmies, some columns which have nothing in them. We also have an 11 here, which means that there's only 4 pixels of wiggle room. You can go ahead and fill in all of this on that 11. We also have a 7, which means that we have 8 pixels of wiggle room. Unfortunately, that does mean that it could be on side here. But okay, looking at this this row, we've got a 4, 2, 1. Well, the 4, this has to be part of the 4. There's no way for it not to be. We can go ahead and fill in these 3 pixels. 7 and a 4. 11 pixels plus 1, 12. 1 space. 12 pixels occupied. That means that there's 3 pixels of wiggle. The 4, know that at least 1 pixel of it's going to be here, and for the 7, you can say that, did I do that math wrong? 11, 3 pixels of wiggle room. So, 7 definitely is going to fill in 4 pixels. So, looking at this row, it starts with a 2 horizontally, so we've already got it. Nice. And looking at this row, it calls for a 3, so we know that this can't be filled in. This row calls for a 3, so it's got to go there. This row calls for 3, 1, 3. We can't fit both a 1 and a 3 in any of the spots other than this first one. Could fit 1, 2, 3 space 1 in here, but if we put a 3 in here, then we couldn't fit 3 and the 1 in here. So the first 3 has to go in this column. Go there. The second 3 could go in this column or in this column. You don't know. Yeah. We couldn't fit both the 3 and the 2 of this row in here, so it's got to go here, and the other 3's got to go in here. That gives us something to work with. Similarly, we've got this 4 got to go in here, and a 3 that's got to go over here. That's really good, because that gives us upper edges. We love upper edges. So, top edge to the 4, so the 4's got to go there. We've completed our 7. Need to complete our 11 here. And do that. Top edge to this 7. Top edge to this 5. We don't actually know that. So this one, there's a little bit of ambiguity. Either this is part of, we've got a horizontal 4, 2, 1. We know that the 4 is over there. The 2 could be in here, and this is the 1, or 2 could be right here, and then there's a 1 over here. Either way, this pixel is ruled. That's something. What else? Okay, looking at this one. We can fit 2 1s in this column for our horizontal 3, 1, 1, 2, 1. Means that the 2 and the 1 have to go here. This in place, start ruling out a little bit more. Having this pixel here means that the 7 has to come down to at least here. It actually gives us a lot of information. That tells us, alright, that's the 2, the 1 has to be over here. There can't be anything right here. Also, with these 2 pixels in there, it means that we've got an upper edge for an edge for our 7 that couldn't reach down to here. Doesn't really give us a lot of information, but it gives us more than none. Here, where the okie dokie. We are pretty much out of things that I can say with much confidence. I know that this design's asymmetrical. Okay, you might be able to extrapolate something here. So, no, we can't. Oh, so close. Here we go. Here's something. So, this row has nothing but 1s in it, so we can go ahead and X this spot out. And here's something else. This column, we've got a vertical 4, 2. This has to be part of the 2, so 2 couldn't reach down to any of this. That tells us a lot. That means that we couldn't fit our horizontal 2 here or here. Damn. I got overexcited. That I thought that told us more than it actually did. Shit. Do I have where else? Wait. Oh my gosh. I've been staring this straight in the face and haven't put 2 and 2 together for a while. So, we've got all this stuff up here filled in because of filling downwards from the top. These are 3s, so we can go ahead and say, hey, that part's done. So that X's out a big chunk for us, which is good. Not as good as I would like. Here we go. Similarly, got a horizontal 3, 2, 2, so that means this has to be a 2, which means that this has to be X'd out. That means our 7 not reach up past here on our verticals, which means that we can go 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. So these 6 pixels have to be filled in. On this row, we've got a horizontal 2 and a 1. We've got 2 pixels that are very separated out, which means this has to be where our 1. We've also got 2 pixels here, so this has to be our 2. Which means that none of this can be. None of this filled in. That means that we can't have a 4 right here. And here we've got a vertical 7, 3, so the 3's gotta go right there. This row has nothing but 1s. We've already got the 1s, so we can X all of this out. That gives us a fair bit of information because we can look at our vertical 1, 4 and say, hey, we couldn't fit a 4 right here. On this row, we need a 1, 2. Well, this has to be where the 2 is, which means that we now know where the 3 is on this column, which means we close it out, which means that we're done with these 2 rows. Means that we've got a lot more information about our vertical 4 here, which means we completed these 2 rows with the 1s. Which means that there's now only one place where this vertical 1, 4 could go. Our 4 here. We also can complete our 3 up here, which tells us a top edge for our vertical 3. We've got our 2 completed. Nice. We can look at this one and say, alright, we've already got our 2 in there, so we're good. We've got a 2 here. We're good with all this. So our vertical 4 has to be that. Vertical 4 here. Pixels have to be. Rows call for a. This row calls for a 1, so that means X out to there. That means that on this column we know that one of the 2's has to go there and the other 2 has to be done here. That gives us a left edge for these 2's. This column can't reach here. This 3 has to come over to here, and also the 7 has to come up to there. Already completed our 3, which means we got our 2 complete. 4 is done. 1 done. We need 1 more pixel here. Excellent. 2 1s, which means that one of them has to be here. This out, which means that 2 horizontally has to go here, which means 2 vertically has to go here. That pulled out, which means that has to be there. There we go. Woo! Another kind of slow one. Kind of empty space on. But yeah, there we go. Some roots. So nonogram 80 is done. On to nonogram 81. Nonogram 81 is only 8 pixels wide and it is 12 pixels tall. We've got an easy gimme here. Nothing on this row. That lets us look at our verticals and say, alright, can't fit a 4 here, a 6 here, 3 here, here, 4 here, or a 4 here. So these rows, we know where these 2. Beautiful. So we now effectively have a nonogram that is 9 tall and 8. At 9 tall, that means that only 3 pixels of wiggle room on this vertical 6. Only there's 2 pixels of wiggle room. No. Brain, come on. there's 2 pixels of wiggle room on this horizontal 6 here. Doesn't for downforce. There's 2 pixels of wiggle room on our vertical 3, 3 here. So we can go ahead and say, all right, this pixel and this pixel have to be filled in. Lets us know there's not going to be anything over here because the 3 couldn't. With that in place, we can blank out more of this stuff because these verticals couldn't fit here either. That means that we can blank in these pixels for the vertical 4. Is that we can look at our 3 here and say, all right, that has to come to at least here. With this pixel filled in, that means that this horizontal 3 would have to at least come to here. Lets us rule out a little bit down here. The vertical 6 couldn't reach. That means that the horizontal 2 couldn't be here and has to have a pixel here, which gives us a bottom edge for this vertical 3. That lets us pull out this pixel for the horizontal 3 and in this pixel. That lets us we also are able to rule out these 2 pixels for the vertical 2 couldn't reach. Know that this row contains a 2 and a 2, so either of those could reach here. Still has to be in, right? As does, yeah. Yeah, I messed that up earlier. Not in a significant way, but there's only 2 pixels away. 4 of the pixels have to be filled in. Oh, brain. On this row, we've got a pixel filled in, so we know where the 3 is, effectively. That lets us know these pixels for the 4. 1 more pixel of certainty on the 6. That gives us this 2 completed and this 2. That gives us upper edge for this 3. We've also got a lower edge for this 3. Means this 2 can only be like this. Gives us our vertical 2 here. Leaves this 3. And fill this in. Done. That's the rest of our 4. Complete our 6. Pixel for our 4 here. Fountain this out. 3 has to go here. Already completed our 6. Go here. Has to go here. We've done it. A question mark. That one was quicker. Alright, on to Nonogram 82. Nonogram 82 is 11 pixels wide and 12 pixels tall. 11 pixels wide, that means that there's 2 pixels of wiggle room for the 9 here. Go ahead and fill that in. And 3 pixels of wiggle room for the 8. Go ahead and fill these in. With those in place, we can look at our verticals and say, all right, well, the 6 here is going to have to come up to at least here, saying over here. The 5 is going to have to come up to here and here. Got a vertical 3 that just couldn't reach down to here. This has to be the 6, so the 6 couldn't reach to here. Also, if this is the 6, space 1, 2, or 1, 2, space 1, 6. So we've got a pixel of certainty here. What else can we figure out? Vertical 6, 4, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, space 1, 4, 4, 1, 2, 4. So those pixels are gimmicks, but they have to be there. Go ahead and fill these in as well, which lets us complete this too. That 2 completed. This is also 2, so we know that there can't be anything there. But with this row completed, we can look at our verticals and rule out a bunch of stuff. Can't fit a 4 here, 3 here, 4, 3, can't fit a 5 here. Also a 5 couldn't reach up very far. Couldn't fit a 3 here, or a 4 here. We know that this is a 2 because this row contains nothing but 2s. And actually, there's only one way that this row can work. 4 2s has to go like that, and eating that knowledge, 4 2s has to fit in like that for this. With that in place, we can look at our verticals and say, alright, well, 4 continuous, so pull that out. Got a 3 and a 5 in this one, so this is clearly part of the 5, which means this has to be part of the 3. Lets us go ahead and finish that out. Similarly, this has to be part of the 3, which means this has to be part of the 4. Nothing but 2s in this, so we can go ahead and X that. These pixels couldn't be filled in because then it wouldn't be a 4 and a 6. So, blanking that out, fill those in, and also fill these in. Does that go down that far? This is a 6, so that has to be. This row is a 2, so done. This row, 6 couldn't reach to here. This column can only now complete it in one way. There we go. Has to be filled in, has to be part of the 4. This pixel has to be there for the vertical 4 2. There's only full wiggle room. But this pixel has to be filled in for the 8. 8 couldn't reach here, but still a pixel of wiggle room. Vertical 3 here. Can't fit a vertical 3 right there. And couldn't reach to here. Horizontal 2. That's gotta be the there. Horizontal 2 here. Go ahead and close this row out. An upper edge for the 4. 3. Vertical 3 has to go here, which we close that out. Now know exactly where the vertical 4 and 2 are. Know where this horizontal 2 is. Know where this 6 has to reach to at least there. We're done with this column. Complete 3. Means that we now know the rest of this 6. Close out this vertical 3. Finish up this vertical 4. And finish up this 6. Done. Got a pointer hand, I think. Yeah, I think a grabby hand, maybe. I remember that, but oh no! It's not a hand at all. It's a of the cog, I think. The top piece of the cog. I think. On to Nonogram 83. Nonogram 83 is 9 pixels wide and 12 pixels tall. At 9 pixels wide, we can go ahead and fill in these middle 3 pixels for this horizontal 6. This middle 1 pixel for this horizontal 5. Destroy with this horizontal 5. And look at our vertical 5, 3 and say, alright, well, this is clearly part of the 3, so it has to reach up to at least here. These have to be part of the 5, that it can't reach up to here. At 12 tall, this vertical 7 is going to have to come to here, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7. So yeah, these 2 pixels are gonna have to be filled in. That gives us a little more context on our horizontal 6 here. It's gonna have to come to at least here because it's all continuous. And our horizontal 3 here is gonna have to come to at least here. Horizontal 6 couldn't reach to here. Looking at our horizontal 3, 3, we've already got 2 of them filled in. This pixel has to be filled in, even if this was at its rightmost arrangement, 1, 2, 3, space, 1, 2, 3, pixel still filled in. Same pixel can be filled in on here, I believe. One, two, three, space, 1, 3, yeah. We can actually, wow. No, we can't. Wait. Yeah. So these 2 pixels could be separate trees. We don't know. This pixel's gonna have to be filled in. So either it's 1, 2, 3, and, or it's and 3. We don't know yet. Hey, that's something. Alright. Looking at this one. This column, this vertical 4, 3. This is clearly part of the 3 and couldn't part of the same section as this. So that means that it has to be filling in this pixel. Because if this was a space, 3 would have to come up to here, and then it's not a 3, 5. So that then means that this is part of the 4, which means that it doesn't reach up to here. It can't. That tells us this pixel is not filled in. Didn't fit a horizontal. Tells us that this pixel is filled in. Just the 1, 5. Our 5 couldn't reach to here, which tells us that we couldn't fit a vertical 2 here, which tells us we couldn't fit a horizontal 3 here. A lot of wiggle room. That. Looking at our vertical 5, lowest arrangement of the vertical 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and hey, that now puts up to this one. That means that this pixel cannot be filled in. Okay, looking at our verticals, this has to be part of the 4. This pixel can't be filled in. The 4 couldn't reach. If it was filled in, then it couldn't be a 4, it would be a 5. Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, space, 1, 2, space, 1, 2. Alright, so there's only one solution left for this column now, with that pixel X'd out. That now tells us, hey, this 3 couldn't reach here. It tells us There's no pixel here, which this is one of our three. Our other three here has to go like this. This gives us a low pixel for our 4, so 4 has to come to at least here. Couldn't reach up to here. That rules out this and this, the horizontal 2s. Rules out this pixel for the horizontal 7. Or I'm sorry, vertical 7. Vertical 7 has to fill in these to make this continuous. Still 2 pixels wiggle room. But this pixel and this pixel can't be filled in because of the horizontal 2s, which means these pixels can't be filled in of the horizontal 1s. Which these pixels can't be filled in because the horizontal 2 simply couldn't reach. We've got an upper edge for our vertical 3 here. This pixel. Oh. We've also got a lower edge for our vertical 4. That's done. We've got a horizontal 3 that just simply couldn't reach over to here. We've got a horizontal 5 that has to reach out to it here, but couldn't reach here. Vertical 3 that has to be done, so that completes that. And a vertical 5, that means that these pixels have to be filled in. Means that the horizontal 2 is done, which means that the other horizontal 2 has to fill in this pixel. Know how this column works out. With that in place, know that our horizontal 2 here couldn't fill this pixel. There's only 2 pixels left for it. That means that our vertical 2 here is done. These 2 pixels are part of the 7. Comes down to here. That gives us another pixel of certainty on our horizontal 5, which lets us finish off our vertical 4 here. Also fill in a pixel more on our vertical 7 here, which gives us our horizontal 5 completed, and we can go ahead and fill out our horizontal 6. Horizontal 3 can also be completed. Our vertical 5 here can be completed. And our horizontal 3. That means that we now know exactly where our 7 goes. Goes out this horizontal 5. That's a 1 vertically, so it's got to be X'd out there. Has to be filled in here. Our 2, which means that our last pixel goes here. We have a money pouch. Alright. With all of that in place, that's Nonogram 83 onto Nonogram 84. Nonogram 84 is 9 pixels wide and 12 pixels tall. Got a nice easy gimme here where there's nothing that can be... use that to look at our verticals and say, alright, can't put a 2 here or a 3 here. Leaves us with only 7 pixels that have to be filled in for this horizontal 7s. Really, this thing is only 10 pixels tall now. Since this is only 9 pixels wide, that means that we've only got 1 pixel of uncertainty for our horizontal 8 here. Use that to say, alright, this column is nothing but 1s, so there can't be anything there. What else can we say? Only 1 pixel of uncertainty here, so we can go ahead and fill in 5 of the pixels for this horizontal 6. That lets us look at our verticals and say, alright, this pixel has to be filled in for the vertical 3. Vertical 1 here, have to X that out. With that X'd out, that tells us exactly where our horizontal 4 is. It has to be over here. Couldn't fit the 4 and the 2 over here. That gives us a bottom edge for these ones and our vertical 5. That gives us a left edge for our 3 here. 1 and a 1. That means that we know that this has to be our 3. Our horizontal 6 has to go here. Can't have any this row left. Go. That gives us vertical 3 has to go here, horizontal 2. That gives us a left edge for our horizontal 2 here. That's done. Done, which means it has to be like that. Great. This has to be filled in for our horizontal 8, which means that our other vertical 2 has to be here. Okay, 1, 1, 2, vertical 2. Column's already done, so we put out vertical 3 in here, which has to be like that. We've also got a vertical 3 here. Thus, close out this horizontal 1, horizontal 2, horizontal 1. This in it. This can in it. The horizontal 2. The ones that this wants have to be like this. Horizontal 2 has to be like that. Done with this column. These 2 pixels have to be filled in. There we go. Nonogram 84 done, and it was a unhappy face. I'm really not sure what Nonogram 84 looks to me like a face, but that could be. I hope that. On to Nonogram 85. Nonogram 85 is 13 pixels wide and 15 pixels tall. That means that there's only 1 pixel of uncertainty on this row, and there are no pixels of uncertainty on this row. And this row has only 1 solution. That gives us a lot of pretty high up pixels. Got a vertical 8, gonna have to fill in these pixels. And in fact, gonna have to come a fair bit lower down than that. So 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And couldn't below here. Similarly, we've got a 5 over here that's gonna have to fill in these 2 pixels and couldn't reach below here. The right edge on this 11. That. Right edge on our 1 here. Got right edges on this 2 and this 6. Great. The one other way that this 6 can go in there. There's only 1 solution for that row in general. Vertical 3. We completed top edge for a vertical 4. Got a 12 vertically here, so that's going to have to be filled in. The fact it's going to have to come all the way down to here. That gives us a right edge for a 3 here, a 4 here, a 2 here. The vertical 8 here is going to have to come down to at least here, and in point of fact, we know the whole thing. Vertical 9, all of this has to be continuous, which we've done with that. In fact, all of this. Can't fit a horizontal 2 right here. Our vertical 12 can't reach down to here. We've got these horizontal 4s that are going to have to fill in these. Our vertical 8 is going to have to fill in these. Vertical 6 is going to have to fill in that, but can't fill in this, so we actually know exactly where this vertical 6 goes. This vertical 6 is going to have to go like that. 12 here, have to come down to at least here. Couldn't down. Yeah. 4. The vertical 2 here is already complete. those pixels have to be filled in, and this pixel has to be filled in, which means I did this column already. This row, go ahead and come. Vertical 6 would have to reach down to here. Couldn't have anything beyond it. Vertical 9, this has to be continuous. Vertical 9 has to be continuous. 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9. Right. This is clearly part of the vertical 8 that we're looking at. Has to be part of the 5. 5, bare minimum, 1, 2, 4, 5. Bare minimum has to fill that in. Go ahead and X this. 9 on this has to reach here. Could have figured out anyways because horizontal 7, 3. Fill that in. Horizontal 2s have to work out like that. Horizontal 4 is already complete, and this one's already complete. This horizontal 3 is already complete, and there's only 1 pixel left that I can go into. We did this vertical 12. Vertical 8's already done. Cool. This vertical 12, there's only 1 pixel left that it can go into, which completes our horizontal 2 here, which means that this has to be 1 goes, which vertical 5. Have to have a pixel here for the vertical 5, which for horizontal 1. Horizontal 3 is already complete. Has to be filled in for the vertical 6. Deal. Got a graph, I guess. Okay. Alright, one more. This is Nonogram 86. Nonogram 86 is 10 pixels wide and 10 pixels tall. 3 gimmies right in the middle of no pixels. Couldn't fit a 4 and a 1 on this side over here. That the 4 of this row has to go here. Similarly, couldn't fit a 2 and a 3 on this side, so 3 on this row has to go over here. Same story here. That now tells us, alright, got a vertical 4 and a vertical 4, and then we're done. So that's got to be like this. This has to be 1. This also has to be a 1, which 4 pixels left for that 4. Got a vertical 5. Gonna have to reach down to at least here. Same story here. That gives us our horizontal. That gives us a lower edge for our vertical 3s. This is also a 2. Gonna have to be there. This row calls for just 1s that we've completed. That gives us top edge for our vertical 5s. Have to fill these in for our remaining vertical 1s. We've completed this horizontal 2. This horizontal 2. This row calls for 2 more 1s. And we're done. Got a spanner and screwdriver, I assume. Sure. Called a spanner and a screwdriver. You know what? I said one more, but one more. Nonogram 87. Nonogram 87 is 8 pixels wide and 15 pixels tall. 15 pixels tall is fairly easy on the eyes for this vertical 410. That gives us a fair bit of certainty right at the top here. Hey, who's? Can't reach anywhere. It's 8 wide. These rows call for 8s. Go ahead and fill in all of these pixels. Horizontal 5, gonna have to fill in this pixel. And this pixel. Looking at the vertical 8, that's gonna have to fill up to at least here. Because from the bottom, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. But couldn't reach beyond 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So none of these pixels are filled in, which means that the 2 up here has to be like this. Top edge for a vertical 4. 1. That gives us, hey, that's a 2, and this has to be a 2. So we're done here, which gives us a pixel over here that has to be filled in. That has to be our vertical 1. That's done. So this row calls for 3 ones. Well, one of the ones has to be over here, one of the ones has to be here, and the remaining one has to be here. That gives us some certainty about where the 4 is. There's 2 pixels above, so there has to be at least 1 pixel here. That means that this has to be the 2 that it is in this column, which means that none of this is filled in. That gives us 1 more pixel of certainty on our horizontal 5 here. That tells us, hey, this is part of a 4, and we need a 2 in this column after it, so the 2 has to be down here. Completes our row down here. Looking at this row, we've got a 4, and we've got a blank here, so it can't be over there, it has to be over here. That gives us 1 more pixel for our vertical 5. We've also got a vertical 3, 8, so this has to be part of the 8, and the 8's going to have to come up to at least 1, 2, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8's got to come up to at least here. And in point of fact, there's only 1 solution left for this entire column. With that filled in, that means that this has to be part of this horizontal 4. Completed our 5. This 5 has to come to at least here, but couldn't come to here. That leaves only 4 pixels for our vertical 4 there. This column is already done. Completed our 4 here. There's only 2 pixels left for our vertical 2. Need a horizontal 2 here, horizontal 4 here with a 1 pixel remaining. This row calls for a horizontal 2. Got a bottom edge for our 5 there. 1 more pixel here, and we're done. I think this is also part of the cog. Yeah, I think that's the left side of the broken cog. So, yeah, Nonogram 87 in the bag. I think we'll call it here since we're over an hour now. Thank you all for watching. See you next time. Bye.